Good morning and welcome to the First Universalist Church of Yarmouth. My name is Larissa Sellers. I'm a worship assistant on our worship council, and I'm glad to be greeting you this morning. A warm welcome to all of you who are gathered here in our sanctuary, as well as to our friends who are joining us virtually on Zoom. At First Universalist, our mission is to explore our faith, embrace this community, and to engage the world as spiritual seekers. May we take these words to heart. If this is your first time to our congregation, welcome. We invite you to fill out a connection card located in front of you in your pew so we may connect you with programs here that interest you. You can drop this in the offering plate when it is passed later in our service. For those joining us with young children, nursery care, some of you are coming in with young children. Nursery care is available during our service for babies and toddlers. Our nursery is located out this side door and down the hallway on the left. Following our service, all are invited to join us for coffee hour, our time of friendship and fellowship downstairs in our gathering room. Before we begin, I have some announcements. Number one, tonight at 7 p.m., composer Jim Scott will be performing right here in our beautiful sanctuary. As we face the urgency of the environmental crisis, unfortunately made anew to us this week, the Year to Save the Earth is a multimedia experience celebrating what is beautiful, amazing, and fragile. You may read more about the event in your order of worship this morning, and we hope to see you back here tonight. Number two, the blessing of the animals next Sunday. Everybody ready? On Sunday, October 6th, we will celebrate the feast day of St. Francis of Assisi with our Blessing of the Animals service. We will gather to honor the non-human animals who enrich our lives, expand our hearts, support our ecosystems, and make the world a wondrous, healthy, and beautiful place. Non-hooved animals are invited into our sanctuary for this special service as long as their humans clean up after them and they are on a leash and under control. Stuffed animals and animal costumes are welcome as well. If you would like to bring a photograph or memento of a beloved animal to decorate our altar or keep by your side, please do. During the service, we will have a time set aside to honor animals no longer with us. Also, please look at your Sunday morning news in the order of worship for other announcements, as there are many, especially the dinner church on October 11th. The deadline for sign-up is next Sunday, October 6th. Today is Reverend Hillary's Sunday away from the pulpit, and the worship council will be leading today's service. Our service follows its usual format with a few changes along the way. So I urge you to pay attention. We are continuing with September's theme of invitation as we welcome the Jewish holiday of Rosh Hashanah beginning at sunset this Wednesday night. You'll notice the apples and honey and bread on the table, on this table, I believe that's bread, correct? Yes. Challah. Oh, it's challah. Who made challah? Hannaford's makes the best challah. Okay, all right. Okay, so thank you. So anyway, we welcome the Jewish holiday of Rosh Hashanah, which begins at sunset this Wednesday night. Rosh Hashanah most simply means the beginning of the year. Happy New Year, Lashana Tova. It ushers in a 10-day period of self-examination and penitence that ends with Yom Kippur, beginning this year at sunset on October 11th. Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, is the most holy of Jewish holidays, when one asks for forgiveness for one's sins and reconciles with others and with God. And now, please join me in taking a deep breath, and stretch, Oh, you guys stretch so well. Okay, all right. As we settle in to this time together. And Sam will lead us into worship.
Good morning. I'm not Joanna Landsman, but I am a member of the worship committee, Mary Cheney, and I'd like to offer our call to worship today. In a world that feeds on moral outrage, we are here to cultivate moral courage. In a time that prizes picking sides, we gather to draw a wider circle. And in a culture that teaches us to get for what we give, and to ask, what's in it for me? We come to practice generosity and to remember we're all in this together. In the midst of life's bitterness, we choose to sing, to give thanks, to laugh together, and to be keepers of beauty, to offer a place of belonging for all who come in gladness and in pain, to resist the push to the next moment and the next, to slow down, to breathe more deeply, to feel a part of something greater. For this hour and in this space, let us be the change we wish to see. Come, let us worship together. And now if you'll all rise in body and spirit as you're willing and able, for opening hymn number 392, Hine Matov. Hine Matov.
So we're going to sing this hymn. It has Hebrew and English lyrics. We're going to sing each line twice before moving on. And then at the end, we're going to go back and we're going to sing the first Hebrew line one more time to finish. Also be aware, this song speeds up over time. Hine ma tovu manayim v'shevet ahim kayad. Hine ma tovu manayim v'shevet ahim kayad. Hine ma tovu shevet ahim kayad. Hine how good it is and how pleasant for people to dwell together. How good it is and how pleasant for people to dwell together. Good and pleasant people in peace together. Good and pleasant people in peace together. Hine ma tovanu naim v'shevet ahim hayad. Hine ma tovanu naim v'shevet ahim gayad.
Please remain standing. We will now do our unison affirmation. You are beloved. Whether tears have fallen from your eyes this past week or gleeful laughter has spilled out of your smiling mouth.
You are beloved, and you are welcome here. Whether you are feeling brave or brokenhearted, defiant or defeated, fearsome or fearful, you are beloved,
here.
and you are welcome here.
Whether you have untold stories buried deep inside or stories that have been forced beyond the edges of comfort.
You are beloved, and you are welcome here. Whether you have made promises, broken promises, or are renewing your promises,
You are beloved, and you are welcome here. Whatever is in your heart, however it is with your soul in this moment,
You are beloved, and you are welcome here. In this space of welcome and acceptance, commitment and recommitment, of covenant and connection, let us worship together. Please be seated. I now invite our friend Jovi up to light our chalice this morning.
Could I have the kids come up here to light our chalice? All right. Guys, come over here. Anybody else? Yes. Blow it out? Yeah, good job. All right. Do you guys want to read this together? Yeah. Blessed is the eternal Spirit who sustains the universe, blesses us with precepts, and invites us to light the festive lamp. All right, you guys can go. Thank you. All right.
Mac and Gwen will lead us in our time of wonder.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. So today, like Larissa was saying, we're thinking about the upcoming Jewish holidays of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
Rosh Hashanah is part of the High Holy Days and is the start of the Jewish New Year and a celebration of the Earth's birthday.
And this year, Rosh Hashanah begins this coming week on October 2nd, which also starts the High Holy Days for those who practice Judaism.
Rosh Hashanah is a time of celebration and a time of reflection and prayer.
And like a lot of holidays celebrated around the world, there are often traditional foods eaten during Rosh Hashanah.
So we have some of those foods here that we'll be trying during Children's Chapel and Junior Youth Group today. And yes, there might just be some leftovers at coffee hour too.
So the first we have, and I'm going to just hold it up so you can see it, we have apples and honey. And these are just munched on to enjoy and to think about having a sweet start to the new year.
And then there is delicious challah bread, which is made in a circle to remind us of the never-ending circle of life.
Thank you, Hannaford. And there are also usually pomegranates eaten, which, boo, Hannaford did not have any. So we don't, they had 2 yesterday? Oh, Trader Joe, okay. Well, but pomegranates are also a traditional food eaten during Rosh Hashanah, and there is said to be 613 pomegranate seeds in each pomegranate, which mystically correspond to the 613 mitzvot, or commandments, in the Torah.
And now, let's try some of these apples, honey, and challah in Children's Chapel and Junior Youth Group today.
And maybe coffee hour, we'll see how hungry the kids are. In Children's Chapel, we're going to be thinking about pluralism, so we'll be trying some of these delicious foods. We'll be making bean and seed mandalas, and if we have time, we're even going to try to make our own chalices out of Legos.
And in junior youth group, we'll also be trying some of these treats, and we'll be continuing our work on our cat and dog first aid course. Now, let's say our children's blessing. We are Unitarian Universalists, people of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands.
Small but mighty. I invite us now to enter into a time of silence, to simply be, to let what comes up in your mind and your heart come up, to notice it and let it be, and then take a few more breaths, after which we will light our candles. I'll light our bowl when our quiet time is up. In our quiet, we may have thought of things we wish to celebrate, or something that we brought in our hearts that feels heavy. And at this time, everyone is invited to light a silent candle today to honor the thoughts on your mind, the joys and the sorrows in your heart. And so we'll line up over there along the windows and come right to the candle stand, light, and please press it at the far end of the pot so that you're not at risk of reaching over a hot flame. If anybody would like to light a candle, you are now invited. I'll light a candle for all the joys and sorrows we hold in our hearts, burning just as brightly. And one for friends far away, known and unknown. In the spirit of meditation and community, I'm offering these words, number 336 in our hymnal, Bless Us with Peace. O source of peace, lead us to peace, a peace profound and true. Lead us to a healing, to mastery of all that drives us to war within ourselves and with each other. May our deeds inscribe us in the book of life and blessing, righteousness and peace. O source of peace, bless us with peace. Amen.
Our half-plate donation this week from our offering goes to the League of Women Voters. The League of Women Voters of Maine is a nonpartisan grassroots organization that encourages informed and active participation in government. Today's half-plate donation will go to their education fund, which promotes citizen participation, conducts unbiased studies of key community issues, and empowers people to seek positive solutions to public policy issues through education and conflict management. For those of you in the sanctuary, we will pass the plate, and for those of you watching on Zoom, you are encouraged to donate either through the donate button in your order of worship or by sending a check. Your generosity is so appreciated. Please rise for the Song of Thanksgiving, printed in your order of worship. This is the litany of atonement for remaining silent when a single voice would have made a difference. For each time that our fears have made us rigid and inaccessible. For each time that we have struck out in anger without just cause. For each time that our greed has blinded us to the needs of others. For the selfishness which sets us apart and alone. For falling short of the admonitions of the Spirit. For losing sight of our unity. For those and for so many acts, both evident and subtle, which have fueled the illusion of separateness, we forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
September's theme has been invitation. I think about Reverend Hillary's words during the call to worship. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, whatever you've done, whatever you think about doing, the words sometimes change, but they are always a step beyond invitation. When, after 30 years of being together, Arnie and I decided to look for a religious community, I was the one who was sent out exploring. Although Arnie is Jewish, he didn't want to join a temple or synagogue. I had grown up Presbyterian, and I belonged to a wonderfully liberal Presbyterian church in Minnesota that Arnie had visited and enjoyed many times. I thought a liberal Protestant church might work. But as I visited Protestant churches, I discovered that they were, of course, Christian, and I knew that wouldn't work for Arnie. So I came to visit First U. It took a while, but after some time, I brought Arnie, and 2 years ago, we started coming regularly, drawn by the warmth and openness of this place. Shortly after that, we joined. Since being here, I have found others who have found a special place of welcome here at First U. I think there are many reasons we find welcome. Some of us because of where we're from, other religious traditions, other faiths. Some of us because of who we are, lesbian, gay, trans, queer, bi. Some of us are here for other reasons, what might look like limitations elsewhere, but aren't here. A quiet acceptance of our differences, just the right embrace. I know that there was a time 2 years ago when this whoever you are, whatever you're doing notion got us targeted by some very angry people. As one would expect, we waited it out. And had they come, we would have said, whatever you've done, whatever you think about doing, you are welcome here. You will find a community of people here who put love first, people who believe in justice. I love the invitation offered here. I love the invitation to participate, to bring your whole self, even your foibles and your grousing, and be a part of this community. I love that most of the time this place works for this former Presbyterian and Arnie, formerly an observant Jew and forever Jewish. I also love what's asked in this age during Rosh Hashanah, to reflect on where we've strayed. Have we wronged someone? Have we been smug? Have we overlooked something or someone important? Always, as the reading said, we begin again and again in love.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. My name is Jovi Shearer King. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm honored to have been invited to give this homily today. When I was reflecting on making this homily for the Jewish New Year and Day of Atonement, I kept returning to the one word that summarizes Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. And I realized that atonement isn't just about being sorry and repenting, but being at one with our communities and at one with others. So what does it mean to be one with ourselves and with others and with the world entirely? In Hebrew, atonement comes from the word kafar, meaning to cover over. This naturally leads us to ask, what are we trying to cover? In the Jewish tradition, it means chet, or to miss the mark, which this is a mistake or wrongdoing, not a permanent stain on the soul, but a misstep from the path we should be walking on. In our Unitarian Universalist tradition, like in Judaism, we do not hold a traditional Christian concept of sin. Instead, we recognize how easily we can miss the mark in our own lives. We miss the mark when we fail to speak with those who need our voice. We miss the mark when we allow fear to make us rigid and isolated. We miss the mark when anger blinds us to reason, or when greed closes our eyes to the needs of others. This is the essence of atonement, acknowledging that we have missed the mark and making the effort to realign ourselves with compassion, justice, and love. Atonement is not just personal, it is a communal act. In the prayers of Yom Kippur, through all Jewish congregations, there is a confession, and we recite it in the plural form. We have sinned. Even though we have not personally committed a specific wrong, we bear the responsibility for the society in which those wrongs happen. Our individual actions affect the health of the whole community. It's tempting to focus on the big picture with the grand injustices in the world, but true atonement begins here and now in this very room. It begins in our hearts and in our own actions, however small. Every day we have the opportunity to move towards repair, towards reconciliation, and creating a more safer, loving world. I'm sure many of you have heard the idea of the butterfly effect. It's the idea where the world is so interconnected that one simple small action, like a butterfly flapping its wings, could set off a whole chain reaction, leading to a typhoon across the globe. We may feel like a small community, but like that single butterfly, we are capable of causing great change. On October 2nd, when Rosh Hashanah begins, we enter the Jewish season of atonement, and on this day of judgment, Yom Ha'adin, the book of life is metaphorically opened, where the fate of individuals and communities are inscribed for the coming year. During this sacred time, we are invited to ask ourselves some challenging questions. Have I fulfilled my obligations to others? Where have I failed to act with kindness and fairness? And how can I seek reconciliation with those I have wronged? These questions not only to reflect, but also act. Atonement is not merely seeking personal forgiveness. It's about mending the broken bonds between ourselves, our fellow human beings, and the earth. This is not an individual task, it is a communal responsibility. So what does it truly mean to embrace at-one-ment? It means recognizing that we are not separate from the struggles of others. Racial injustice, economic inequality, environmental degradation, violence against marginalized groups, these are not someone else's problems. These are our problems. Atonement is not passive. It is a radical call to action and demand that we become agents of change throughout the world. It invites us to mend our relationships, fight for justice, and build a more loving society. And when we inevitably falter, inevitably miss the mark, we are invited back on the path. Each moment offers us the opportunity for renewal, growth, and forgiving again. As we forgive others and each other, let us commit to this path of justice, compassion, and love. Let us begin again in love, and may your name be inscribed in the book of life. Let it be so. Amen.
And will you now please join us by rising and singing? We're going to sing our final hymn, Turn, Turn, Turn. We're going to be accompanied by Sam and John. And the lyrics to Turn, Turn, Turn are in your order of worship, a little yellow sheet. So please join me.
Broken string. So I'll invite you all to join and sing. Just be aware, after the chorus that starts with a time of love, we have a little jam out. Okay, we're good now. Everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. Do everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. Do everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time of love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing.
Thank you. Please stay standing and join me in our unison benediction. For those who come here seeking God, may God go with you. For those who come embracing life, may life return your affection. For those who come to seek a path, may a way be found and the courage to take it step by step. Thank you very much, and we'll see you downstairs.